What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
and today we're back at it once again, answering questions, because it never ends here, especially when you have Christmas Day leftovers for days.
Gersh1.
For the creator.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below, put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first.
Gersh1.
Gersh1, yeah. We also have a super thanks. If you guys want to support the channel, you may by giving us a super thanks. We also have a Patreon. Patreon goes a longer, or you get a little bit more. We have some old school videos on there if you guys want to check those out. And it just helps us out a little bit more if you jump on over to the Patreon. The link is in the description. But Arok9 has given us a super thanks, so we're going to answer his question.
His question is, are enhanced Ogryns real? Because I've heard of a Psyker Ogryn female who served in the Inquisition, as well as pseudo-space marine Ogryns from the Heresy days that made even the Primarchs nervous. Are any of these killing machines still around, or am I being lied to?
That's a good question. Ogryns are one of the most powerful abhumans. They're just powerful creatures in general.
Yeah. Where you have like these awesome super soldiers in the Astra Militarum, the Ogryns are kind of giving away pretty much brain power for just brute mass and force and strength.
Yeah, and that's the downfall of a lot of Ogryn, I guess, militia or regiments. I know there's only one regiment that's made up of completely Ogryns, but the downfall is their intelligence. Their intelligence isn't all that great, so then you always need a commissar to kind of like guide them and do things like that. Yeah. So are there super powerful Ogryns? Yes, but they're rare.
Right, because we have Ogryns in a lot of different areas of the game, such as on the tabletop, in the novels, in video games, like recently with Darktide. So we see Ogryns in a bunch of different lights. However, when it comes to Psyker Ogryns, we don't really have much to go by.
Yeah, and the reason that these characters are popping up now is because of games like Dark Heresy and basically role-playing games set in the 40K universe, where you have the option of playing as an Ogryn, but then you also have the option of choosing like a character class, type, whatever it is, of a Psyker. And so then they combine it and say like, yeah, it could happen in 40K, because like, why wouldn't it? Like if the Tau have even an inkling of psychic energy, why wouldn't an Ogryn, which is technically some form of human? So yeah, it's possible, but very, very, very rare.
Yeah, there have been some, like you were talking about, some pseudo-Ogryn, Chaos Space Marine hybrids that do have psychic powers, and they are pretty much built like an Ogryn, so that might be what you're talking about, but yeah, that's pretty much what we can infer and go by.
Exactly, yeah. Another thing that I was going to say is, like, there's, like you said, hybrids, right? Like Hodor?
Yeah, like from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Good question. The next one comes from Musica Player. When are we going to get more terrain tutorials? Also, I want Santa/Sanguinius to give me booty hose. Don't we all? And I think the terrain tutorials, I've been wanting to get it back into terrain tutorials and stuff like that. It's just that you guys don't watch them. So, so I might jump or put it over to a new channel, or I don't really know what I'm going to do, because I think it's part of the algorithm. Like, you guys are here for the greater WAAAGHs, and you guys are here for the lore videos. And then if a terrain video goes out, it doesn't get that much views, and it hurts the video itself, because it's comparing it to the other videos that we've posted. So it's like, well, this isn't your demographic, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe if it's a different channel or shorts or something, it'll do better. But yeah, I've been itching to build and kit bash terrain.
Yeah, we do have quite a few of them.
We do, yeah.
They're old videos, but I mean, old sometimes is gold.
Yeah. Next one.
This one is by Baron Jack 5751. What are your guys' thoughts on if the Emperor actually is the evil of the universe, and he's just using his powers to cloak the good, such as making demons appear evil when they are actually angels, making Nurgle look rotten when he's actually the cure, basically the Emperor keeping everything from flipping over?
The downfall to that is that, the Eldar don't believe in the Emperor and have no influence from the Emperor, and yet they also see Slaanesh as this demon-consuming creature, which he is. Same thing with the Orcs. The Orcs don't really like, or they like going into the war because they get to kill those creatures. It's not like they're killing angels.
Yeah.
And it's not like you could say, oh, it's because all those races are bad. There is no bad and good in 40K.
They're all pretty crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing we could confer about the Emperor being evil is just like, he wasn't evil per se, but maybe his actions can be seen that way after the fact. Because clearly we're looking at it from like a third point of view. If you were in the 40K universe, you'd probably see the Emperor as the good guy, you know, the beacon of hope, that type of stuff.
Right, yeah. And also he's ignorant. And what's the other word? Like he thought he can fix humanity, and it's like, well, arrogant, yeah. And that really got him into where he is right now, a corpse. So that can be seen as like, oh, that's not somebody you want to follow. He's a bad guy because he made it seem like these gods that give you legit powers are bad when he can't even give you that. All he has is like the Legion of the Damned and a couple saints.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, he does do miracles, I guess.
Yeah, but not to the extent of like Slanesh. Like if you become a cultist of Slanesh right away, boom, you're gonna get booms.
You're getting something.
Yeah, a BJ or hand jobs.
Yeah.
And next question.
Condorm69. Is the Eldar word for human, Monke, a pun for monkey?
Yep.
Yeah. 100% yes.
Next question comes from Norton Vigiano. Do the Grey Knights hate humans or just don't give a fuck? And the reason you probably say that is because in the old lore, Grey Knights would kill any militia or imperial regiment that would fight alongside them.
Mm-hmm. Because they needed to be secret.
Yeah.
And even if you're helping the Imperium, even if you're helping cleanse the planet of like demonic stuff, you can't be let out. Like, you're gonna die.
Right. So do they hate them? No, they just wanted to keep things hush-hush.
Right. That's not a thing anymore, clearly, because like, how do you have any type of campaign with them without civil war erupting?
Right, yeah.
So that's not a thing anymore.
Next one.
This one's by Negi Tai Meta. What if the Imperium had all the advanced technology from the Dark Age of tech and from other sci-fi universes?
Well, if they had STCs or control of STCs, they would be a little bit more technologically inclined, as opposed to what the Adeptus Mechanicus is right now, which is just like this weird pseudo-science that's not like, I mean, you're praying to a machine and washing it with oils.
Hoping it works.
Yeah. It's basically how I run my car. Oil change? What is that?
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, they would be super overpowered. The Dark Age of technology is essentially humanity's golden age. So if they were in that and they still had all these awesome... Well, I don't even know if they'd even have the same things, like, because they would just keep improving and improving and improving.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they would definitely be a force to be reckoned with. They would be in more control, and if they had like technology from other universes, like they're just OP.
Yeah, especially if it's like Mass Effect.
Yeah, if they had Mass Effect technology, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Especially like with the Krogan, right? They were to do what they did to the Krogan, but just do it to the orcs, so they can't produce spores anymore. And then boom, the orc race is gone. Next question comes from Noctin Penis. If I go to a tournament and I don't want to play the guy dressed like a Nazi, should he be allowed to claim victory?
First of all, he shouldn't even be allowed to like be in that tournament, right?
And how do you know it's not Charlie? Is it Charlie Chaplin? No, what's his name?
Charlie Chaplin, the comedian.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Hitler.
Well, just because he had the little mustache.
Also a suit.
Yeah.
So double check first with the tournament. What were they? The coaches? No, what are they called? Refs.
Yeah.
And if you resign, if you forfeit a battle, then yeah, I mean that's the definition of forfeiting, right?
Yeah.
What you should do is man up and destroy Hitler.
You have to cleanse his soul from the universe, like the Emperor did Horus.
Yep. I hope you're playing Imperium. Well, that wouldn't even make sense. He would be playing Imperium.
Yeah.
Because that's a totalitarian regime.
Mm-hmm.
He would be playing Tau, right?
Probably, yeah.
Next question.
This one is by the big one. Prepare yourselves. I'm your most loyal and sexy fan with a hot chocolate body. How can using 40K lore make my body even hotter, sexier, and more chocolatey?
So diet and exercise is a good start. Since you already got your diet down, because you said you're eating more chocolate.
Well, he's got a chocolate body.
So he's eating a lot of chocolate.
I would assume so.
So what you need to do now is start working out as if you're training to look like The Rock.
Yeah. For every page of 40K lore you read, you got to do like 300 sit-ups.
Yeah.
Or even better, for every word you don't understand in 40K or pronounce, you have to do like 200 lunges.
There you go. Lunges are pretty tough. Also, watch Black Adam. Because that's going to make you not want to watch Black Adam.
So I've heard, which is why I haven't seen it yet.
It's a pretty bad movie.
Yeah.
I think like The Rock is interesting because like he's a person that if I see him on a movie title now, I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
I feel like he plays the same character.
And yet he gets like roles all the time.
Because he's The Rock, that's why.
Like his stuff is not good. You know what Henry Cavill should do? Is hire The Rock.
For 40K?
40K.
Who should he play then?
Salamanders. Or, well, a salamander captain, which would be, what's his name? The main, Tushan?
Oh, Tushan, yeah. I was thinking Carcharodons, because of the whole, like, motif of, like, the...
Oh, yeah.
The, what is it? Like, sharks and, like, tattoos and stuff like that.
Tribal,
like, yeah.
What is that called?
Maori?
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think The Rock should play in a 40K?
Watch him be Horus.
What do you guys think he should play in a 40K cinematic universe?
I think the best role would be a Tau.
A Tau?
Because they're built like The Rock.
He has to be Earth Science, or Earth Science. Earth
Cast?
Yeah. I took an Earth Science class once.
As a Tau?
No, like it was just a regular human, and we learned about The Rock a lot. Did you know he... I was going to throw in a fact. I don't know anything about The Rock. Yeah. Last question. Let's make it a 40K question.
This one's by Arya8165. What would happen if a random Imperial citizen turned out to be a rare Psyker, one as powerful as even Malkador or Magnus? What would happen to them? How could they help the Imperium? And could they be strong enough to revive the Emperor? So just a regular civilian gaining the powers of a demigod, essentially? I don't see that happening.
No. And also, like, demigods... Well, anything in the warp is powered by some type of emotion, so you kind of have to be more specific. Like, is he a demigod empowered from the emotion of hope, light, something that represents the Emperor? Then, in that case, maybe.
Yeah.
But if he's just, like... Because, like, the most common... Because what's the new Vashtor?
No.
Yeah, Vashtor.
He's just a demigod.
But he's a demigod of something, right?
Oh, innovation, creativity, that type of stuff, technology.
You would have to pick something else that's like very common that's not represented by the 4 Chaos gods. What's something that we've come across that we were like, no, that's not really, doesn't fit in anything.
That's really hard.
Yeah, because innovation was one of them, right? Creativity. We used to say, it was like, it might be Korn, maybe Tzeentch, maybe Slanesh.
But then you think the machine god would be that, wouldn't he?
Right, the Amnesiah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, something that represents some type of aspect of the Emperor. Yeah.
But yeah, it's very rare for just some random, everyday Joe to be like, yeah, I've got powers of a demigod now.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think they'd be strong enough to revive the Emperor. Considering Malkador pretty much gave up his whole life to keep the Golden Throne going while the Emperor was out fighting Horus. And I don't think Magnus could do something to that scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing is, I don't think the Emperor needs a psychic to revive him because he's a perpetual. He just doesn't want to die in order to revive because of all the negative effects that would cause.
Yeah, because the warp gate was open for just a second when Magnus decided to rip through that.
Yeah.
And it caused devastation on Terra. Imagine if the Emperor dies and he comes... Like, we don't even know how long it's going to take for him to come back.
Right.
When you said average Joe, I thought about like another emotion that might represent a cool chaos god that hasn't been covered, and that's insecure arrogance. That would be a good one.
That is almost like an oxymoron, but not quite.
Yeah, it's like, can I win against these demons? Yes, but no.
I could probably win, but I'm not going to go through the effort. Because what if I don't?
I hope you guys can relate. And that's it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Keep sending your questions our way, and we'll keep giving you answers.
Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist, and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.